So, Mr. Chase, with FirstIgnite.
Last year, the University of California system generated $100 million in licensing revenue from technologies invented on campus. A majority of that revenue came from 4 key technologies. Guess how many technologies the University of California has unlicensed? The number is 11,000. My name is Chase Bonhag, and I'm the co-founder of FirstIgnite, and we build business development tools for the university tech transfer market. And we're a Traverse City, Michigan-based company. Last year, over $70 billion in research was conducted at US universities. This research is turned into patents, and then is supposed to be licensed to companies that drive forward and turn into products, returning money back to the university. Universities are conducting more research, receiving more disclosures from university faculty, and filing more patents than they ever have. But 73% of them aren't even making enough money to cover their budgets. So we're building tools to solve those problems. Successful technology transfer requires industry feedback to researchers, requires research collaboration with private organizations, and requires entrepreneurs and companies to take those technologies forward. FirstIgnite breaks down complex technologies using natural language processing and identifies industry matches that are the companies with the highest probability of driving those technologies forward. We then promote and market those technologies to the companies. And in return, we establish relationships between industry and universities to help drive research forward. So what does that even mean? Well, here's a list of some of the technologies we're working with today. Universities are, on a daily basis, having groundbreaking research that can make world-impacting change. And we're focused on helping get those technologies to market. This technology, for example, is structural supercapacitor at Northern Arizona University. That went under confidentiality agreement with a company today that is going to potentially license that technology to work on mobile medical devices for energy storage. We're working with really important technologies, and the work we're doing is really significant and has potential for serious impact. So how do we make money? Well, we're currently making money from both university tech transfer offices as well as big corporations who are looking to partner with scientific expertise. We generate money by being paid for marketing campaigns of the technology. We get a success fee when technologies get licensed, and most importantly, we're getting our share of the licensing revenue that comes back to the university. We're becoming an intellectual licensing agency powered by technology. How did we get here? The old-fashioned way, customer discovery. We started with 60 conversations with tech transfer offices last summer. They told us their problems, and the product we're building is one that solves those needs based on those conversations. That resulted in 25 requested proposals from those universities, and we got pilot projects with some of the biggest names in research across the country. We got paid customers that are some of the biggest names in research across the country as well. The work we're doing is really exciting. So what does that mean? Well, last year we established a brand in the university research market. People know who we are. Trust me, I've been in their inbox, I've been on the phone with them. This year we're really working on focusing to explore what corporations want from university partnerships and how we can build a product to better serve their needs in that space. In the future, bring those two groups together in a streamlined marketplace where someone could come in with a problem that says, hey, I need a filter. If we could filter out magnesium, I would be able to bring it to market today. We take that to universities. We get competitive bidding from university researchers who have laboratory space available and time available. Perhaps they didn't procure a federal grant and want work to do. And we can get competitive bidding. We drive money to the university, and we get really cool technologies off the shelf and into the market. Again, my name is Chase Bonhag. I'm the founder of FirstIgnite. We're a Traverse City-based company, and we help get kind of complex technologies off the shelf and into the market. Thank you. Yeah, it's a complex space, guys. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So the university research space, the way it works is they do federal funded grant research. Then the tech transfer office, who is our customer, is actually reviewing all of the research that's taking place, and faculty submit disclosures, which are ideas, to the Tech Transfer Office, and that office is in charge of deciding which technologies get patented and which don't. There's so much time and effort that our customers spend on filing a patent, checking for freedom to operate, and everything that's involved in the patent game. If you have any idea, it's really complex. What they don't have time for is figuring out who to take it forward, and that's really where FirstIgnite comes in. We're industry agnostic. We can break down technologies from cancer therapeutics to energy storage devices, because we look at the textual language associated with the technologies rather than kind of the complexities that are usually involved in the patent. And we're successful. We're getting the job done. It's really cool. We're growing quickly. Well, actually, I got it today. I came here hoping to meet with a Fortune 100 VP of licensing that understands this market better than I do. And before the meeting today, I think we kind of came to agreement that we'd meet up for coffee and talk about that. So I've got what I need. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
I just want to say I don't understand all the complexities of what you're coming here, but actually you're a great speaker. Are you taking investors?
We'd be open to talk about it. We've tested the market before, but really the way we look at it is if we can get a check quickly, we're right back to building a customer base and driving revenue. You know, I said we're going to do $12,000 to $18,000 this month. Well, that number changed today. That's going up, and that doesn't include any of the licensing revenue we're coming. So we would be happy to talk about investors, but I used to be a venture capitalist. I've got 19 deals underneath my belt. This would be number 20, and I'm all in. And the way I look at it is I could spend a lot of my time trying to convince people to write us checks, or I could spend a lot of my time solving the problems of our customers, and that's how I spend my time. Kevin?
Can you tell me a little bit about your revenue history?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started in January 2019. We didn't hit revenue until October last year. We did about $6,000 a month. For those next 3 months, we're going to be going to do like somewhere between 12 and 22,000 this month. And we have the relationships already in place. We're an arm's reach away with those pilots as well as our current customers to do $50,000 a month in revenue by the end of this year. That would be our goal, is to have a month where we do 50. So yeah, that's our history.
The licensing share is interesting. How can you explain kind of like how those conversations have been going with the universities?
Yeah, well,
some universities like University of Michigan, they're only taking like a 1% type of thing. So I think it's like 15% of the 1%.
Yeah, so the industry norm that what a university would hope to get is 5% of. So what happens is a company licenses the technology, then they go out and generate revenue. Okay. That company that is using the university technology owes, as this gentleman said, somewhere between around 1% and 5% of that revenue back to the company. That's where that $100 million comes from that the University of California generates. So the 15% that I actually put up there that's 15% of the licensing revenue that the university receives. And that's our current model. We'd like to guarantee 1% for ourselves, so then they go out and decide whether they want to get a 0.5%, or 1%, or 2% on top of that. But right now we do 15% of what the university receives, and the reason is because that's the same amount that when you do an inter-institutional research project, so if you have Purdue, Indiana, and Notre Dame associated with technology, whichever university controls that takes 15% off the top from that pool of revenue. And so we found that as an easy way in, that Notre Dame is our first customer who's helping us explore that. They found that to be a way that they were happy to write that down and get in contract.
Just to understand, is it a software platform?
Yeah.
It's like basically a marketplace that you're creating? Or?
So this is how our software works. We take the patents, the grants, and the researcher profiles associated with the complex technology. We use a method of computer science known as natural language processing to break down the textual language in there to basically create what you could look at as a phrase cloud. So the key terms and where they're placed within the text of those technologies. We then layer that over a database that we call industry activity. That includes patents and grants and job postings and federal or 10K reports, crunch-based data, AngelList data, to find any layer of similarity between this technology and what companies are doing in industry. When we can find a point of similarity, that individual becomes part of kind of our master contact list, and then we promote the technology to that group because they've been matched with a layer of similarity. So we're a software company. We use software to basically solve the active marketing needs of the university, but the biggest piece of IP and the best thing that we have going for us is our ability to match those technologies, and that's something in ways that you wouldn't imagine. For instance, that energy. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, thanks, guys.
his slides so you can snag a photo of his contact details. That's awesome.